Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is your girl, Miss Marcy, and this is my Real Housewives of Atlanta review, episode 13, season 8, Jamaican Beef Catty. Alright, let's get into it. Because these hoes, they were so messy this episode. Oh my gosh. I was looking like, what the hell is going on? What the hell's going on? But anywho, so let me get started. Alright, so they going to Jamaica. They going to the circus, going to the fair. Nah, they going to Jamaica. So these hoes, they plan yet another nice trip, which they always do. But they always disappoint me because they always go on these trips and it's always some little catty ass dumb shit. I think this one kind of trumped the rest. I don't know. I could be wrong, but I don't know. It was just so much childishness going on. But anyway, let me get into it without further ado. Alright, so Cynthia and Peter, they're getting dressed, you know, they're packing and stuff like that. Peter's about to go catch his plane because he was leaving out before Cynthia. No, Cynthia was catching her earlier flight because she had some business to take care of pertaining to her commercial. So Cynthia tells Peter that she's going to basically surprise Nene. She's going to surprise everybody with Nene and Greg, you know, because she invited them to come to Jamaica too. So Peter and Cynthia decide to keep it a secret that they're going to be there. And so also in that conversation, Cynthia tells Peter that she decided to go with Kim for her commercial, you know, because Kenya didn't show up to the commercial. You know, she, quote unquote, she claimed she had something going on. She got caught up and she couldn't make it. All right, fine. So Cynthia went ahead and went with Kim, which I think was a good choice. You know, Kim was professional. She was there. Even though I think I think Kenya just didn't want to come just because, you know, just trying to be a spoiled little brat, you know. So anyway, so Kenya brings her her male friend to the trip. You know, she's with him. You know, this guy she's been dating for a couple of months now. So she brings him to the trip. And Portia throws a little bit of shade in her confessional. She was like, something about it's good to meet one of the workers at Moore Manor or something. And she brought up the other dude that Kenya was seeing. Remember the one dude that they said Kenya paid him to be on the show or something crazy. That was like a few seasons back or whatnot. But anywho, so they're on the bus, you know, they're all just talking and laughing amongst each other. And they're just all, you know, Sheree brings Bob, you know, her ex-husband or whatever, and her baby father also. Sheree brings him, and they're looking like, what? Sheree and Bob on the same trip? Because y'all know a couple seasons ago, Sheree and Bob couldn't stand each other's guts. You know, they was at it or whatever. So they bring, you know, she brings him, and, you know, they're pretty much saying, oh, you know, Sheree and Bob is pretty much saying, you know, this is just us trying to be friends, you know, we just trying to, you know, be cordial and cool or whatnot, you know. But then also, like I said, Kenya brings her friend, and Portia just gonna get on my damn nerves, acting so fucking hot. Damn, she is really starting to irk me. Portia, calm your hot ass down. Somebody please give her some dick and just something. Like, damn, somebody need to blow her back out because she is just off the chain. Anyway, I mean, it's like every time a man comes on the damn crew, or every time a man comes around the crew, she just be looking like she just thirsty. I don't know, like she just hot as hell. But anyway, so like I said, and then let me tell you this. Hold on. So Kim brings her kids, man. Kim brings the fucking kids. Why would you bring your children on a trip that's supposed to be for adults? I was glad she brought her husband. I was glad she brought, you know, her family. But like, I think the kids could have stayed at home because, you know, Kim. The reason why I said I was glad she brought them because, you know, Kim just can't do without them. She can't be on the trip without them. But at the same time, I think she should have just brought her husband. This is not the type of trip you bring your damn kids on. I'm sorry, Kim. Your kids could have stayed at home. Leave them babies at home. So Kenya was already kind of irritated with that, like, ugh, like, you know, they're up here talking and laughing and having grown folk conversation, and then you hear this little baby kind of like crying and shit. Kenya's looking like, what the hell? You know, Kenya gave it an eye roll, like, why did she bring her kids? Oh my gosh. So Okay, so moving on. So they're on the bus just chatting and talking and, shooting the breeze or whatever, laughing and talking and stuff. And Phaedra's ass just had to ask about the damn commercial. She's like, so did y'all meet up for the commercial or whatever? So that sparked up just a kind of a negative vibe in the air. So Cynthia tells Kenya that they're gonna need to talk, afterwards or whatever. And she told everybody that she went ahead and went with Kim, because Kenya couldn't make it to the meeting, so she went ahead and went with Kim. And Cynthia really pissed me off because I didn't like how she kept trying to insinuate. She kept trying to put Kim and Kenya together. You know what I'm saying? Knowing that there was some tension between them, and she just, it's like she just wanted to be like she wanted to be like a silent instigator, you know what I mean? She just kind of irritated me. But anyway, she told them that she went with Kim because, Kim was there and she liked Kenya's idea, but she also told Kenya that she would talk to her in private or whatever. So already Kenya was starting to feel some type of way, so she's like, So anyway, so also, so after that, basically, Kenya, Kim, and Cynthia, they actually meet up, in private, like they said they were going to do. So they meet up or whatever and have a little meeting. And it was just, I saw a side of Kenya. I was just like, wow. Kenya got the throwing shade at Kim, so basically Cynthia was telling both of them, like, I decided to go with Kim and blah, blah, blah. Kenya's acting like a spoiled ass brat, like it's all about me. Like, what about me? What about me? Like, no, like Cynthia had no right to go ahead and go with Kim. Kenya was basically saying that she felt like it was done on purpose, and that Cynthia went with Kim because Kim doesn't want to work with her, so she went ahead and went with Kim. And that was so far from the truth. No, Kenya. She went with him. She went with Kim because your ass wasn't there. See, what I don't like about Kenya that I'm noticing is that she doesn't take responsibility for her actions. Now, she gonna never mind the fact that she didn't show up to the damn meeting, and that's why Cynthia went ahead and went with Kim. You know what I'm saying? Like, Kenya, it is so not about your ass. So she asked Kim about her commercial credibility. Like, how many commercials have you done? Now, I felt like Kim was just being an adult about the whole situation. Kim was being very mature, while Kenya was acting like a little ass kid, basically throwing a little tantrum. Like, you're trying to steal my best friend. That's my best friend. That's my best friend. You know what I'm saying? Like, she was trying to steal Cynthia from her. Kenya was just mad because basically Cynthia went with Kim. And she tried to act like it was some type of vendetta against her, some type of fucking conspiracy against her. And I'm just like, damn, Kenya, you that damn self-absorbed? So what I didn't like was, while Kim and Kenya was sitting there going back and forth, they started going back and forth or whatever, right? I didn't like it because Cynthia was sitting her ass there. Cynthia is a fucking instigator, man. She irritates me. So they're going back and forth, just throwing shade like crazy. But Kim was holding her own as far as I was concerned. Kim was really holding her own. Kim was being very calm. You know what I'm saying? She was being very mature. And she's like, so Kenya's like, how many commercials have you done? And then, Kim's like, well, look, I don't really have to disclose that to you. You're not the client, so it really doesn't even matter. But if you really want to know, you can Google me, honey. You can check my records. You can check my profile pretty much. So, Kenya starts going in, trying to call her Tootie, talking about, did Mrs. Garrett teach you to talk like that? And come on, Kenya, what the hell? I just really saw Kenya was acting very fucking ugly, while Cynthia's ass was just sitting there loving it low key, I think. So they're going back and forth. So Kim decides to go ahead and get up and leave from the table, and then Kenya tells her, oh, well, let me help you with your chair, and comes over and pull Kim's chair out. She is so childish. Just childish is a fucking understatement. Just petty, childish, catty, bully, you know what I'm saying? So Kim leaves, she exits the situation, and then, Kenya starts clapping like, oh, bravo, it's for the best exit, just acting all childish or whatever. So Kim goes back to her room and starts talking about it with her husband. And Kenya, and Kim was feeling some type of way because she's like, and that was just kind of stressful. You know what I'm saying? She charged, basically telling her husband how Kenya tried to basically like belittle her and put her down and basically put her credibility down. And I feel like this, regardless of this show, Kim Fields is a legend. I just really hate that Kim Fields actually did this show because she's a legend in her own way. She don't need to prove shit to none of these girls. She does not even fit in with these hoes. It's just a hot mess for her to be on this damn show. And anyway, so like I said, Kenya was being very condescending, and I didn't like it. I didn't appreciate it. Kenya's talking about she didn't appreciate the fact that Cynthia went with Kim. Bitch, what you mean you didn't appreciate it? It wasn't about you. This is Cynthia's project, bitch. This is not your shit. Like, you should have had your ass there. The world does not stop for Kenya Moore. While you was over there working on More Manor with your little boy toy or whatever, life had to go on. Cynthia had to make the decision that she needed to make, and she decided to go with Kim. There was nothing wrong with that. This is Cynthia's fucking project. I feel like Cynthia always becomes friends with very strong personality women. You know what I'm saying? Women who just like to be dominant. Because first it was Nene, now it's Kenya. They like to be dominant. And I think because to some degree Cynthia has a passive attitude. Cynthia has a passive personality. Although Cynthia does try to have a little bit of a backbone now, but really overall Cynthia have a passive personality. So maybe she just draws in those type of people. But anyway, so yeah, because Kenya damn show acted like, honey, you are not supposed to make decisions without me and my say so. And I just thought that was so silly of Kenya. So anyway, so what else happened? Oh, okay, so Cynthia and Peter go hang out with Nene and Greg at Nene's suite. And I'm looking like, why the hell is Nene come out with a fucking robe on? And Greg talking about ever since she been here, she been naked. Fuck, she got a robe on. Bitch, you don't put on no robe when you have company. I mean, come on, but whatever. So they just kind of talking or whatever. And Cynthia tells Nene how she decided to go with Kim. And she, basically, she's wanted to go with Kim or whatever. And she said that was really it. She told her she wanted to go with Kim. Nene was just telling her like, yeah, if Kenya didn't show up to the meeting, you got to move on. You can't just do something just because that's your friend. You got to, do what you got to do. So anyhow, so they all go out to dinner. They all go out to the dinner for the night. It seemed like a really nice dinner. This would have been a really lovely trip had they all not been fucking tripping. So they go to this dinner, and everybody's there, and Cynthia and Peter show up kind of late. You know how they gotta stage this shit. They had to make their little grand entrance or whatever. And they're like, everybody's like, where's Peter and Cynthia? So Peter and Cynthia finally show up. Then, dun 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 dun, like 2 minutes later, here comes Miss Queen, rich bitch, Nene Leakes, honey. Nene and Greg come strolling down the red fucking carpet, honey, walking like, I'm here. So everybody looking. You should see. Oh my gosh, the look on everybody's face was so funny. Okay, so Portia was genuinely happy to see Nene, but everybody was more so shocked because the last time we knew, Nene and Cynthia were not friends or whatever. So, honey, Kenya looked and then flinch worse shit like whatever. She was not impressed about Nene's presence. Okay. So they show up and everybody's just looking and they're, they hugging and laughing and talking. Hey girl, hey, I'm so glad to see you. Some people seem like they was happy to see Nene. Some people look like they could take it or leave it, okay? That's how it went. So they was just, sitting there having dinner, and then the shit just got messy as all get out. So they sitting there laughing and talking and kikiing or whatnot. And then the fucking stupid ass, somebody brings up the stupid ass commercial again. I think it was Nene. Brings up the dang on commercial. I know Candy was glad she missed this trip, honey. I know she was glad she sat this one on out. It's always some fucking drama with these girls. But anyway, so they bring up the commercial. And Kenya immediately just brings a negative vibe to the table. Like, because Nene asked Kenya, why you not going to be in the commercial, And then Kenya was like, it's just not gonna work out. And Kenya tried to be diplomatic about it. She's like, oh, it's just not gonna work out. So Peter asked her to go ahead and elaborate a little bit more, which caused her to kind of get into more detail. And then it caused Kim to jump in the conversation like, well, no, we tried to talk about it, but every time I try to talk to her, And then, so Kenya decides to get up with her boy toy, and leave. Like, I'm just ready to go. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was just a very negative vibe. And I hate when these ladies do this. They'll go on a nice-ass trip, and they'll have their little, like on this one, they had their men with them. And it just would have been a fun, nice trip, but they just had to be fucking messy. And Phaedra's face expressions all night was just, oh my gosh. I was like, Phaedra... Phaedra was making all kind of faces. Her face, I mean, everything she was thinking, you could just see it on her face. I was like, oh my gosh. But if they don't quit bringing up this damn commercial, this commercial better turn out to be the bomb, honey, because they getting on my damn nerves about this damn commercial. Also, Kenya spoiled ass leave the table. Like, let's go. So they continue the conversation without her or whatever. So then Peter announces that they all got to get up in the morning. No, hold on. Let me go back a little bit. So while they was all talking or whatever, somebody mentions that Kenya and Cynthia are BFFs. Oh my gosh. And Nene seemed like she was about to have a damn fit talking about, no, they're not BFFs. They can't be BFFs. I'm the BFF, okay? And they're like, they all was just sitting there like, no, Nene, yes, they are really BFFs. Like, who gives a fuck? Y'all, these ladies need to find something to do, honey, because whatever they doing ain't enough, because they got too much time to worry about dumb shit. I tell you, give me some of y'all's money, okay? Give me some of that money y'all making over there. I wouldn't dare be worried about a bitch, a hoe, a trick, a slut, or whoever. I would not be worried about. I wouldn't have no worries, okay? But anyway, so she's like, yeah, they are best friends. They are best friends. And Nene acted like she was just feeling some type of way. And so then she asked Cynthia, it was almost like Nene was her man. Like Cynthia was Nene's bitch. And she was like confronting her like, wait a minute, Cynthia, is that your best friend? Like, is that your nigga on the side you been fucking? And so Cynthia's like, pause for a second, right? And then she's like, well, Kenya and I are still getting to know each other. I mean, what the hell? I'm telling y'all, it's like that was Kenya. It was like Cynthia and Kenya was fucking. Well, Kenya and I are getting to know each other. And, I mean, basically she was trying to water down their friendship or whatever. And I thought that was shade on Cynthia's part. Cynthia get on my fucking nerves, man. She just get on my nerves, man. She just go where the wind blows, it seemed like. So, everybody kind of looking like, because that was just shade, because everybody know Kenya and Cynthia been really thick as thieves, But it's like Portia said in her confessionals, okay, now your little side boo, now your main boo done came back, now you want to throw your side boo under the bus or whatever. So, I didn't like that. I didn't like that Cynthia did that. So, then, Peter announces that they all got to get up in the morning, so they all need to kind of go, whatever. They can worry about who's BFFs and talk about that later. So, Sheree, messy ass, go to see, well, first she went to go see Nene, so they talking, they chop it up, like, damn, girl, you looking good, so good to see you, girl, yeah, girl, I ain't seen you in a long time, it's so good to see you, and they were genuinely happy to see each other. Like I said on my last few commentaries, I actually really, really, really liked when Sheree was with Nene and them on the episode, on their season. I really don't like Sheree on this season, because it just seemed like she just there just to be there, just to get a fucking check. And I get it. The struggle is real. I get it. But I'm just like, I kind of don't like her with this group for real. But hey, she gotta do what she gotta do. She gotta get it how she live. You know what I'm saying? Hell, if I was her, I'd probably be back on there too. Excuse me. So anyway, so Nene and Sheree chop it up. You know what I'm saying? They, like I said, they look genuinely happy to see one another. And so Sheree leaves Nene's suites or whatever, and takes her ass to go see Kenya, being little Miss Messy Boots. She goes and talks to Kenya, and she talks about what happened the night before, whatever, at the little dinner. And she's like, so you and Cynthia are best friends? And Kenya's like, yeah. And honey, you could tell Sheree could not wait to bust her fucking bubble. Like, well, she said that y'all just still getting to know each other, and y'all ain't best friends all like that. And so Kenya's like, what? Well, I'm gonna have a conversation with Cynthia. And Kenya, to me, I think on this episode, she took shit a little too personal. Everything was not about you, Cynthia. I mean, Kenya, damn. So, and after the conversation with Sheree, Kenya went and did just that. She go meets up with Cynthia. Oh, and Mel came, honey. Cynthia's sister Mel popped in too, girl. I don't give a fuck about Mel being there. I don't like Mel's messy ass. So anyway, so Kenya goes to Cynthia's suite or whatever. Her and Mel's talking, and Cynthia's like, Mel, you might want to stay here and let, if Kenya came to read me, whatever. But so Kenya's like, it's so interesting that you would say that. Why would you say that? And Cynthia's like, well, the way you left the other night, I just felt like you was feeling some type of way, whatever. But anyway, so Kenya go ahead and get into it. Like, well, no, she was like, I wanted to ask you about, you basically saying that, I'm not really your best friend or whatever, and this and that. Now that Nene's back in town, now you want to kind of basically act like we're not really close like that. And Cynthia's like, well, I mean, you and I aren't. Then she come clean, like, you and I aren't best friends like that. We are still getting to know each other. It was just a bunch of bullshit. But basically, Cynthia, she played Kenya like, are you done? Basically, after Kenya got her little tantrum out, Cynthia played her like, okay, are you done? Because we gotta go. I gotta go. And she was just saying like, you might be in your feelings or whatever, but it ain't even like that. I mean, I just thought it was kind of. I don't know. I just feel like maybe Cynthia was kind of disregarding Kenya's feelings, but at the same time, Kenya was just in her fucking feelings a little too much on this episode. And why would you be these women? I'm surprised some of them got men or husbands or whatever, because it's like, y'all, they be on some bullshit, like, for real. Who cares? The stuff they be caring about, I be like, what? They so petty, man. So petty, So, like I said, they had to talk about the whole stupid dinner. The whole stupid best friend stuff. I mean, man, like, who really cares? Who really cares? So, anyway, that was really most of it for real, y'all. That was really it. They was just on this trip or whatever, and it looks like from the next episode, shit is gonna heat up even more because Cynthia's gonna tell, not Cynthia, but Sheree is gonna tell Kim that it's been said that her husband look a little gay or whatever. But I'm like, they are crazy. But let me go back a little bit. I didn't like when Kim and Kenya was going back and forth. Kenya was getting so mad because Kim was like really wasn't fazed by her. You could just tell Kim was holding her own. Kim was just talking to her. Kim was being an adult about it. But Kenya was trying to low key, hit below the belt, trying to throw all kind of shade. And she gonna say, what she say? Something about, oh yeah, and what they say about you when you're not around, you're a snooze fest. Like, who cares, you dumbass? Like, Kenya, go somewhere. Go somewhere and have several seats, girl. Have you some kids or do what you gonna do. Because you starting to get on. You starting to just act a fool. But I like Kenya, though. That's the thing. I like Kenya. But I didn't like how she acted on this episode. She acted like a straight bully. A straight kid or whatever. So, but that was it though. The main highlight for me in this episode was the back and forth between Kim and Kenya. You know what I'm saying? I didn't think that was cool. I didn't like how Kenya was acting like everything was just about her this episode. She was just acting like, talking about what she didn't appreciate and how she felt like this was going on. And it's something about Kim. I don't know. Every time she get around Kim, she gets like that. She gets very just bossy and I don't appreciate this and you didn't do this and this was, I felt like you was trying to slight me or just trying to, just like when Kim had the breakfast or the brunch last week, the beat face free or the no makeup breakfast or brunch or whatever, and you know, Kenya's talking about she took offense to the shit because she felt like Kim's trying to say that they wear too much makeup all the time. I mean, damn, Kenya, get out your damn feelings, girl. But anywho, y'all go ahead and let me know if I left anything out. Leave it below. Leave a comment. Thank you so much for tuning in. And until next time, this has been Ms. Marcy. Oh,